Okay ladies, I'm back again to show you how to finish off your vest. Now, if you're doing a lined vest, you are going to you've sewn all your pieces together and you're now going to sew your side seam. What I like to do, and I forgot to do it this morning, was where I'm going to be turning it through, which is going to be through this lining, which is actually my lining, I'm going to do a stay stitch. Remember, I've shown you this so many times and I forgot to do it in class this morning, so I'm doing it now. So where I'm going to be turning it through, I'm going to sew a stay stitch so my fabric doesn't stretch. So it just means that I'm sewing on the edge of my fabric about 4 mils in, and I'm just running a straight stitch down there so that my fabric doesn't stretch. And I'm so glad I remembered because I was gutted I'd forgotten this morning. So I'm going to do that on all 4 lining pieces of fabric. Okay, and I'm going to be taking my sew table off. 2 and 3, and it pays to do it. You've got no idea the difference it makes. And the reason I'm doing it on this particular fabric is because it is very, very soft. And that's why I'm doing it. Which one? I haven't done this one. So I'll grab my other little vest that I've been doing to show you as well. So I've done some really fun, I've done one with skulls, and I've done one with Tinkerbell and Minnie Mouse for the girls. So I've done a few, because if I'm doing samples I might as well make them into something. So here's what you do. You've got your lining here, that's your back. Here's your side seam. You're going to put your side seams together like this. So we want to sew as far as we can. So I'm going to take my sew table off and I'm going to open out my seam and I'm going to put my seams together. So I'm just matching these 2 seams and I'm putting them together like that. And I'm putting a pin through there. And I want to actually start sewing from my lining. So I'm bringing it up as far as I can. There. Don't need to put another pin there. And I'm going as far as I can without having to stop. So I'm going to go to about here. You don't have to go all the way because you do this in 2 stages. It's just easier to show you in 2 stages. So I'm going to bring my fabric back. And this is my lining. I'm going to start from here and I'm going to sew to there and stop. Okay, so just 6 mil seam, needle down, forward and reverse, really important at that seam. Then sew, and I put one seam one way and one the other on my lining, and I'm going to sew as far as I can go. Now normally I would not stop, but I want to stop to show you. I just keep sewing as far as I could, but I really want to show you this. So I've sewn my side seams together. Now I'm going to come and pin this other side seam, and I want to go as far as I can without my fabric buckling. So I just pull it as far as I can, one seam one way, one the other, and I'm going to pin it as far as I can go without it messing up. So pin, and I really don't need to pin that little piece because it's so tiny. So I'm just going to start sewing. It's a nuisance without my knee control, should have put it in. Needle down, reverse, make sure your seams are together because you would have pinned yours, not like me. Sew, needle down, pull your work around, and go as far as you can before you need to, before you get to your pin. Go as far as you can, all the way to your pin. So it looks messy, but when you do it, oh, you're going to find it so easy. It's brilliant. And your garments will be so much deeper in the armhole. It won't be fiddly like these little ones. So sew to there and reverse. Now have a look what we've done. Oops, needle up, needle up. Yep. Now have a look what we've done. We've sewn our side seams together, and when we open it out, we just push that through, open this out, we have got all of our side seams sewn together all in one action. It's absolutely brilliant. So now all we need to do is hand stitch, but do I do that? No, I don't do that. What I do is I get some glue, the glue stick. I open up my Sewline glue stick that I love, and I'll just press it first and show you. So I press this. Hang on a minute. I just press it. Oh, I've got a little tuck. I'll need to get rid of that. I press it, and then I just put my glue pen on here, and I press that down. Not up in the ear, I'll just do it on the ground. Press it down like that, and then I cheat. I turn it over and I edge stitch through here instead of hand stitching because I'm naughty. But if you want to hand stitch, don't glue it. I'll take the glue out, and you just get your needle and thread and you just hand stitch this side to the base here. Okay, so it's only a small opening. I'll see if I've stitched this one together. No, here we go. You might see it better on this one because it's brighter. So here's my monster one, and here's my opening. So if you want to, you can hand stitch there, or you can simply just put some glue. And this glue does not get damaged by your needle. It does not gum up your needle. It's a great glue. It washes away, and you simply can glue it down. That might be easier for you to see, that one. Like that. And that's completely held it together. And then if I turn it over, I can just stitch in the ditch down here, and I've top stitched it. Very, very easy, and it saves me having to hand stitch my robots together. So if you're not sure you're going to catch it, then what you can do is pin it, and I always do it on the right side. So if you pin it here and here, and then one more pin up here, like that, you can turn it over and see that you're definitely going to catch here. So I actually think what I'll do is I'll just do a long stitch to show you in white so you can really understand what I mean. So I'm just going to stitch down through here, put my needle stop down on, and I'm just going to stitch through here. I'll take this out because it's white. I may not need to. Sometimes you can just get it so good that it doesn't matter what colour you've got on there, it just works. So I'll just go through here. We'll see how good we are with white thread on red. I don't know if it'll be successful, but hey, you never can tell. Nice and slow. Not too bad. Wouldn't normally do this. I put red on. I don't have red thread beside me. And you'd back stitch it. It's a kid's dress up, Robin. Don't worry about it. So cut your thread there, cut your thread there and there. Needle up. It's not too bad. Actually not too bad. So you can see it's stitched through here, but the best part is it's stitched through here as well. So I'm not having to do any hand stitching. So I do cheat a lot. If it was for myself, I'd probably hand stitch it. But you know, kids' things, if they get a loose thread, they're going to put their finger through it, they're going to pull it. So let's just machine stitch the children's ones. So it's a lot of fun. I think they're a great little idea. I certainly like the idea of a reversible vest. And I'll just quickly stay right there, and you can look at my work here that I'm going to show you next. Let's see if I can hold that on there. There we go. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll just grab my other vests. Okay, so what I've done is I have done Elsa of Frozen on one side of the vest, and then if she's in the mood, or she or he, they can have, I shouldn't be so silly about that, the girls will probably wear the boys ones and the boys will probably wear the girls ones, and or it can be Minnie Mouse. So that's a little bit of fun, lovely and bright and colourful. I think they're really, really gorgeous, and a reversible vest makes sense for children. And the other ones that I've done, because having grandsons, they love skulls and they love pirates. So I've made a pirate one just with plain black in the middle. And it was after this one, I started to do this one, that I thought, oh, I should have done it reversible, and that's what inspired me to do reversible ones. So I think I'll draw a skull and crossbones on the inside of my plain black one. And then I'm doing another fur one, but this time I wanted to push it to the limit really, because what I've done is I've used minky. So instead of using the fur, I've used a very good expensive minky fabric, and on the lining I've used this gorgeous, gorgeous heart and bow fabric that we have. And this is my lining, so you can see my opening there. So look, honestly, they're a lot of fun. They're really, really easy for yourself or making it for the grandchildren. I need to put this one back in. Now this is good because I forgot to clip it. And you can see how it's all pulling here. So I forgot to clip it, so I need to turn it back through and clip my armhole. So it just proves how it doesn't sit if you don't clip it. So I'll see if I can show you that on the inside. See how it's not sitting flat and it's pulling? I need to go in and do my clipping. Okay, a bit hard to see, but it's definitely pulling and gathering in a little bit. It's not sitting nice and flat. So that's what I mean. It hasn't been clipped. I need to put it back through and clip it. Okay? Now there's a great website that you may not know of, and it's called We All Sew. And it's a Bernina site, and they did a fabulous market garden bag to go to the markets. And what they did was they used a recycled bag. So I have used a recycled bag for this. This was an old bag that I had, and so I've just covered it with fabric. And what you do is you get your fabric. So this is cotton duck, same sort of thing. But what you do is you get your fabric that you want to use, and you just cut really cool angles. And I just use my rotary cutter. And the instructions are all on the We All Sew website. But what I did to make life easier, look, it's not falling off. Because what I did was, your first piece you lay down, and I simply use this fantastic glue. I love it. So this is the Sew Line glue that washes out, and I just wound it down, and I lifted up my fabric, and I put a dab of glue. See how it's blue? You can get blue and you can get pink. Exactly the same product. Doesn't gum up your needles, makes no difference to your work. And then you simply just stick that down, and this has been handled by about 80 ladies and is never pulled up. So the idea of it is, you start off with your first piece of fabric, which is this one, and then you just simply glue on your next pieces of fabric, glue on your next pieces of fabric. And in my class they had to do fancy stitches on their Berninas all over it, to showing me what they had learnt throughout the year. But the bag on the website is just with fabric with no fancy stitches. But I like the idea of my ladies using their machines, and so I love the idea of them actually stitching their machine stitches on their bag. Now, because I'm going to do my lining out of this fabric here, I love this fabric, and this is going to be my lining. I decided it's also going to be my gusset. So what I've done here is I've got some of the fabric, and I've cut out some of my triangles, and I've glued them on with my glue stick, and then I've stitched around the edge. So your glue stick is your new best friend. It's amazing. So it's Sew Line glue stick. Now we sell a lot of these on our website, so don't forget you can buy them online if you're not down the road. So it's berninaSewingCentre.co.nz, and it's brilliant. BerninaTaranga.co.nz, I beg your pardon. And these are brilliant. They're $11 for a Sew Line glue pen and refill, and you can buy the refills on their own for two for $6.60. Now I'm just going to grab my other one here so I can show you. So this was my recycled bag, and I decided I didn't want it anymore, and that's what I'm using for the base of my fabric. So you just unpick it all and then you start placing your fabric however you like it, and you start layering and layering and layering, and it's really easy. So I've glued this end of it on and I haven't glued the rest, and look how it's held. It's brilliant. So all I will do now, I've just turned it under 6 mils, and I'll just get my glue pen and I will just open it up. I love it. I love these pens. They're just so easy. So it's instead of using pins, ladies, you don't need to use pins all the time. And I'm just, don't worry about the stitching. I'm having a play around with some of our new thread. And I'm going to lay that down on there, and then I don't have to pin it. So you actually leave it sitting, and there is no harm in giving that a quick press. You will not hurt your fabric. It's brilliant. So you can cheat like I did, and I laid a whole piece of this background fabric and I just plonked my green bits on top. So you can cheat and do that instead of cutting a whole lot of rows. But I think it's going to look fabulous once I get that, my sides, which are my gusset, and my lining in. So hopefully I would like to think you'd see it next month. Let's go with that. So there's your class for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please don't forget to go on the website if you're wanting anything, or please just email me. You can email me on berninarobin@gmail.com, or you can go to tgasew@clear.net.nz. If you've got any questions or you would like to order something, just go on the website or email me and we'll send them out. All right, so I hope you have a good month, and I'm hoping when I talk to you next time that it's going to be a lot warmer than it is today. So you have a good month.